SuperTalk.com. And today we're going to hear a story behind students looking for professional clothing. They now have a resource on the campus of Alcorn State University. And joining us is Michael Harper. He is a career specialist to tell us a little more. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Rebecca, how are you?
I am doing well, and I first came across this story on the wonderful Book of Faces, Facebook, and I saw it getting so much traction, and I thought, what a wonderful idea for college students or soon-to-be grads to have this sort of opportunity. But, Michael, tell us first about this pre-professional programs that you guys have there at Alcorn State. How does it benefit students getting ready to head off into the workforce?
Well, it's pre-professional and career services. So the pre-professional side, of course, is our pre-med, pre-law, pre-pharmacist, those types of programs. We have a very large school here. Our biology program is pretty large. And so we have a great program with Meharry Medical School that does a good job. It's getting our students ready and prepared to go out into looking for medical schools to get accepted into. And Career Services is the liaison between Meharry and Alcorn. So we're very proud of that partnership. We also do quite a few career fairs. We're actually coming up on one on the 30th of March, and it specifically is graduate and pre-professional. So we will have quite a bit of medical schools, pharmacy schools, law schools, and of that sort. So the career services side of it actually is where kind of the career closet comes into play. And it basically is getting our students prepared to actually go out into the world and pretty much secure the bag. And that's from the way that they look, sharpening up their soft skills, ensuring that they know how to put together a knock-it-out-of-the-ballpark resume, and how to nail an interview. And so it's something that my peer, Mr. Roy Burr, and I are very, very passionate about. And we enjoy it.
Well, you put in all the hard work as a student. You've had your sweats on and your head down in the books for 3 to 4, maybe plus years now. And now, like you said, it's time to sort of take all of that off, brush up the gym, and then head out, as you said, to sort of seal the deal. So how did it get started? I mean, I know like with the resume and maybe some of the interview skills, that's kind of been there, but I feel like the actual career closet, being able to come in, get pointers, leave with something. I mean, I feel like that's kind of next level there at Alcorn.
Well, it's interesting. I attended Alcorn, went away, did my career, retired early, and decided to come back and give back. And so when I got here, the career closet was somewhat here. There wasn't a lot of structure to it. And so we went and we found some fixtures. We brought fixtures up and kind of put out a clarion call to alumni and friends, and they responded like you would not believe with new and gently used items. So the career closet serves a couple of purposes. It allows those students who, come to campus. This particular generation is a little bit different. When I came to school, we came to school with business clothes and that kind of thing. But the way the students dress now is a little bit different. So they don't come with suits and ties and jackets and things of that nature. So we are able to supply that. And at the same time, it's a teaching tool, how to style a garment, how to buy the right size jacket, how to match a shirt and tie together. What should you wear to a business interview and that type thing. So it's a multi-purpose type of deal.
Well, you mentioned something unique, Michael, because there's probably a lot listening to Good Things going back into the workforce, thinking about maybe shifting careers, or they've got graduates of their own. You're right. The style these days maybe is a little more leisure athletic wear than maybe, prior generations, and even acceptable on campus. So what are some of those tips that you give students that we could all take to heart if we were maybe going in for a professional interview, or, thinking about applying for something that would require that, either med school or law school or something of that nature? What are some of the bare basics that you make sure that they know there?
When it comes to dress particularly, I always say stick to tradition. Also, do your research. Do your research on the company and kind of get a feel of what that culture is like, what that environment is like. And sometimes that will prevent you from overdressing. But being traditional, I think you always play it safe. You can't go wrong with that. One of the things that I always tell guys that's very, very basic, and it seems simple, but you'd be surprised, and that's make sure that your belt matches your shoes. That is a huge one. The type of tie, something that should not be distracting. The less movement you have in that, the better. Simple patterns. White shirts always work. Your darker colors, your charcoal grays, your light grays, your navy blues. I tend to advise students to stay away from the blacks the black suits, because that can fall under after 5. So, and it's the same thing with the ladies. Your darker, your grays, your charcoals, your navy blues, those types of things. You play it safe, and you can't go wrong.
Michael, I had a light gray with pinstripe suit that my daddy bought me whenever I was going to apply for University of Southern Miss to be a dietetic intern. It got me 3 jobs, an internship and 3 jobs, and then I had babies and outgrew it. But I figured it was my lucky suit, and I wore it for every special whatever occasion, and I was so sad to sort of gift it away. But I gave it to Dress for Success, as an organization that also kind of has the same mentality as your career closet. So if people want to add those new, lightly used, maybe good luck charm suits that they've had that still look good, are y'all taking donations? Is it something you always need, or how does that work?
It's something we always need. We encourage people to donate because the students do take advantage of it. And so anything that is new or gently used and clean, as long as it's business attire, we will take it. We can always use white shirts, and that's the male and female. We can always use the dark suits, dark shoes. We would love to have it. And one of these days, Rebecca, you're going to have to come on campus and take a tour of the career closet. We have it set up just like a store. You would think you were in Belk or Macy's, to give the kids that shopping experience. So you'll have to come down to Alcorn and take a peek at it.
I would love to. There's something about a well-fitted suit that makes male, female, doesn't matter. I feel a little bit more confident, especially if you're going into that next level to try to, seal that deal on the first big girl or boy job. I mean, that's kind of a big thing. You mentioned resume. And Michael, just real quick, how important is it, no matter your age or stage, if you're looking for that next gig, to have somebody professional or somebody to look over your resume? Because that's kind of your first impression, right?
That's your first impression, and it is very important. It is what gets you the interview. That resume is key. And I always tell students, there's this myth of adding things to the resume and fluffing it up. It needs to be true. It needs to be simple, concise, and easy to read. And I encourage students to do that. Come and have us to take a look at it, get it all structured and formatted well. But a good resume, a good solid resume is what gets you in the door.
And no typos.
And no typos, no grammatical errors. Proofread. Even after we do student resumes, we always send it back to the students to ask them to proofread. But that resume is key. My advice, keep it simple.
Well, Michael,
keep it simple.
I think what y'all are doing there at Alcorn with intention with your students is such a good thing. If people want to learn more, where can we go to find out more about career services?
They can go to alcorn.edu, and we are under Student Affairs and Career Services there, or you can reach me at Harper at alcorn.edu or 601-877-6197.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Michael, and all that you guys are doing there at Alcorn. Such good stuff. So thank you.
Thank you for the spotlight. We greatly appreciate it.
All righty. I always wondered where my suit went, Rhino. I feel like it just got more girls' jobs throughout its lifespan, but y'all stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.